When you think of pasture irrigation, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Centre pivots, fixed grid, K-line? One thing's certain, you'll be able to see it from a mile away. That is, unless you're Bryce Burnett. His sprinklers stay in the ground and only pop up when they're required to do a job. Here's a look into a new way of irrigating. Pop-Up Pasture Irrigation.
Bryce's farm in North Otago, where Bryce has installed 750 pop-up sprinklers, and we're just here on his farm today having an overview of the system and learning about how well it's served Bryce over the last 8 years it's been installed here.
Yeah, before the irrigation we were always concerned about, are we going to be overstocked when it becomes dry, and when it becomes dry, what's the price going to be like, what are we going to get for our store stock? And we're always at the mercy of the markets. When things were dry, before we had irrigation, you're always going, oh, the market's going to be rubbish. So we end up bailing our deer, and you don't get that income, so you're on the back foot. But with irrigation, we're always on the front foot, and then we're meeting the market, and the market's been good, which is really good. And so you finish your animals and you finish them to good weights, which is good too.
Bryce's inputs are very, very low compared to most other types of irrigation. There's a lot less wind drift because the sprinklers are lower. It's a lot easier to work around from a farming perspective for Bryce because there's no posts or sprinklers that he needs to avoid. He can run over the sprinklers that are in ground and mow over the top of them.
Yeah, well, the idea was to make it a simple system that that was going to take less to look after. And I could see with K-lines, I just was going to have to, had to put another man on. And then it was always the worry of, is he going to be okay on my hills? Is he going to roll the four-wheeler? Or, I still can't rely on somebody else to do it. And then with centre pivots, well, they're only going to be able to do a certain amount of what we did, do the centre piece, and then there were some bits they wouldn't be able to do, so you're only doing half circles, and the cost of that was going to get quite expensive.
It's the visual impact is probably one of the first things that you don't notice when you turn up on a farm like Bryce's. The ability to harvest around it, the sprinklers. There's no need to avoid them when you're harvesting any grass or fodder beet.
The thing with centre pivots, we still had to have power to the centre pivot. With these pop-ups, we don't have any power on the other farm because we haven't got a boost pump. On this place we do have a boost pump, but where you haven't got a boost pump and it's under pressure at the gate, you just go and you just turn it on and set your computer, and away it goes, and it does it all for you. And you just go and visit the computer every now and again, probably a couple of times a week. And
once the system's set up, there's no maintenance required, there's no gearbox oils to change, there's no ongoing charges. It's in, it's fixed, it's buried. There's nothing more to do apart from manage it, turning it on and off at the end of each season. It is that simple.
But certainly I know my neighbours look at me because he's out there moving his K-lines, and I was talking to him this morning. It was raining. He said, I don't think I'm going to carry on irrigating. I think I'm going to turn it off. And he said, are you going to turn yours off? I said, no, I'm leaving mine on. Oh, he says, it's so depressing moving K-lines. The engineering know-how on how to put it all up with a good plan was the key to it as well. And if we didn't have that, you'd struggle. It wouldn't quite work. Sprinklers were going, then we got the surveying guys that came in and marked where each one was going to go, and then the digger went along and they just pulled the pipe along down the line of where it was going to go, and just pulled each line down, one with the tapping saddles and everything. So it worked really well. It was quite simple. Yep. That's the beauty of the system. You can't see anything, so you need a plan like that. I wouldn't like to farm without it now. Irrigation's been really good. It's been brilliant.
Bryce is a very keen supporter of the Pop-Up Pasture Irrigation and welcomes anyone, anytime to come and have a look and check it out.
Yeah, once you've got it and got your head around it, it's pretty good. I don't mind it, yeah. He says, it's so depressing moving K-lines.